Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I am back with another story time, and if you like these, please give that like, give that subscribe, ring that bell, all that good stuff. But today I am detailing the first time I ever smoked hash. It was a pretty standard day in the summer of California when I was, I think I was like 15 or so. But basically me and my buddy Rob, you know, as I've said in previous stories about basically just hanging out all the time, getting high every day, but we needed to re-up, and this was always kind of a thing in high school. At least the way we ended up having to get weed, it usually took a very long time. It was like a whole day process type thing. Yeah, no, this was early in my buddy's sort of dealing days, as it were. And so we ended up having to go to the local Boys and Girls Club, funnily enough, to go get our re-up. The Boys and Girls Club, it kind of was just a place where like high schoolers could go and get their like gram or so or whatnot. It might take 3 or so hours, but you know, you're gonna get a little bit of weed, and the weed's gonna be all right. And it was basically a Boys and Girls Club, and it had that quasi like skate park next to it. So of course there's a bunch, you know, skate park kids strung out, people just hanging out throughout the entire day, just watching kids skate. And we basically ended up finding our way down there, probably around like 3 or 4. And surprisingly enough, I mean, we were probably there maybe an hour and a half, just sitting around zoning out, not really doing much. This guy kind of comes around. He's usually, you know, he's kind of one of the, I don't know if he'd sell all the time to us or what, but I just know he'd be around once in a blue moon. He was a very much an older guy. He kind of looks like the dude from Strange Show if he was just like very strung out, like could probably use some multivitamins and whatnot and that sort of thing, get a nice spa day or something. You just real strung out looking dude. Ooh, but with the kind of a messy enough hair. I don't know if it'd be dreads. It was just dirty enough hair to be turning into dreads, put it that way. We end up like going to this other spot because he felt, you know, basically we couldn't exactly smoke like right at the skate park and the Boys and Girls Club. It's not like they didn't have people there like observing. You couldn't smoke right there, so you'd have to go somewhere around the corner and whatnot. So me and a group, basically he showed up, and it just for whatever reason I just kind of like followed them. We were all in discussion like, hey, we're gonna go around, and I figured, you know, it's like, hey, we're gonna go around and smoke. And so we had behind it was like one of those storage containers or whatnot, just perfectly blocking the view of what we were doing. And this guy started passing around this like, it was like straight out of Home Depot type pipe, very just like clearly just some homemade shit, metal just like smashed together looking pipe. And it had like some electrical tape around it. It was very much a ghetto rig pipe. It looked ridiculous. I thought we were just smoking some weird shit out of this homemade pipe. And basically everyone's just like, you know, hitting it, going around, and I go to it. I'm not even looking what's inside. Like I probably should have. It could have been freaking laced with black tar for all I had known at that point. But I just hit it, and it hits a little different. It tastes a little different. And it just ended up, you know, being kind of like this smooth. It got me coughing a bit, but it was just like, it was a very different type of experience. And like, as I'm kind of doing those initial coughs, coughing out, which really wasn't that bad, the dude says, never smoked hash before. And I'm just thinking like, what? I was kind of like the fourth or so person. I just figured, you know, it wasn't green or anything. And so I was just getting the last bits, but it just tasted so much better for some reason. And that's when I just realized, I'm not like, oh, I smoked something a little different. But I knew hash was just weed already. I wasn't like, when he said hash, it was almost like a sigh of relief, if anything, when he said that. but it was like, now this is hash. This is the first time having some good, well, I don't know if it's good, but hash. It was definitely, seeing some of the stuff he had afterwards, it was definitely that like kind of resin ball sticky hash. Definitely an actual like hash piece. It was pressed. It was goopy. It was that brown looking, you pull it apart and it's like, you know what I mean. It's not like keef or anything. It's like actually like pressed and whatnot. With in any case, that was a pretty, I just felt pretty like a clean, balanced high. We went in a biking around. We considered like so me and this other buddy, we started just sort of making our way back with our bikes. This is like Camarillo, so it's all like suburb areas, so it's easy to get around with bikes and whatnot. So that's how all the transportation, that's partly what makes it also take forever to get drugs and stuff too. It's just biking around everywhere, and even a lot of the dealers were using bikes to get around. So basically we were starting to head our way back, but on the way back there was Safeway, and we were considering snagging a bottle of liquor because, California grocery stores can have like whatever liquor they want. Ugh, I don't know. We kind of overthought it, basically. We went around, we looked at like our options there, and we're like, yeah, they're kind of eyeballing. It just didn't happen that night. And strangely, I don't know, like I've been there for the 99-cent store licks, but for whatever reason, it was always like a different situation where like they had already done it and I was not privy to that time point. Pretty much any other time was more like the small like 99-cent store snags and whatnot that I'd been part of and privy to. But yeah, so that didn't really work out at all, just sitting there. But we ended up biking back, and it was just like, just that bike ride, it just felt so nice. It was such a nice, relaxing, like it was just this epitome of like just this total anti-anxiety relief, like just it was just such a smooth, nostalgic bike ride. That's like the epitome of like bike riding and weed going hand in hand so well together in the moment. It was like I was at a solid probably like a 5 or a 6, and it was just like breeze in the air, like the sun was kind of setting down. It was the afternoon. It was that nice temperate California weather. Just like everything just felt right. Like it was just like this is what I should be doing. This is a good time in life right now. And it just, there's a lot of different, weed and strains and whatnot that I'm, after all the years of smoking have given me different effects. But that first time smoking hash, it definitely, I've had it before, I have that effect again. I've had it plenty, but it's definitely one I sought after, for sure. Is that nice, just chilling, having a good day, not having a care in the world, just riding your bike through, just relaxing. It was just so nice. And we ended up pretty much going back, smoking a couple more bowls later that night, relaxing, playing some video games. But that was pretty much the first time I ever smoked hash. What is your time, the first time you ever smoked hash, or have you smoked hash before? Leave that in the comments below. In any case, remember, please like, subscribe, ring that bell. You have a great rest of your day.